Okay. I see y'all want to go way, way back for this one. And that's fine because I was on the phone with my OG last night. And he been told me this, but he just reminded me, in full detail. So I'm prepared for this. I'm prepared for this. Random Rants. Cutty from Dead Presidents. And you already know, what we got to do. You know what we going to do. We going to start from the beginning. Yeah, from the beginning. Like I said, shout outs to my OGs on this one, Now, of course, you guys know him as Cutty, but his name is Lattimore Darby. He was born in Brooklyn, 1939. Now, he had both parents. His mother stay at home, Father, side jobs, just trying to make ends meet, And this caused a young Lattimore to go out. He running numbers at the early age of 7, getting money. He had to do what he had to do. Now, the older gentleman liked his style naturally. Lattimore a smooth dude. So they put him on, and by the time he like 17, 18, he got a nice little crew with him. And he also meets Veronica around this time. They get married in 1959. Lattimore around 20. You gotta understand, he getting a lot of fast money. His wife wants him to settle down, take this trash truck job, just to provide. But he's like, I'm getting fast money. And his brother-in-law, Veronica's brother, stepped to him, and he cut Veronica's brother. That's how he got the name Cutty. So now, it's starting to make sense. That led to a divorce. But he brings up his ex-wife, because we gonna get to the actual movie. I'm just giving you the background right now. But nonetheless, that leads to the divorce, and he relocates to the Bronx. It's around 65, give or take. He's still getting money, running numbers. Well, he was running numbers. Him and his crew, they in the robberies now. They sticking people up. They getting it though. Right? Now this leads to 1969. The war. Right? In the events of the movie, of course, you guys saw it. The main character, Anthony, he goes off to war, right? But there's pivotal scenes in this movie. Now, the beautiful thing about this movie is every scene in this movie has to do with money. The movie's called Dead Presidents. So let's go back to the scenes that leads up to Cutty, so we can make this make sense, right? So you guys remember the movie. You've seen it before. This classic scene right after Juanita and Anthony got intimate. She's telling them, like, yeah, Jose and Marisol, they about to go to the city hall. They about to get married. Jose going to war. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. So she asks him, she like, how you feel about that? He like, oh, I don't know. What you mean? See, he's ignorant. He doesn't know. His Spanish man know, that's his man. One of his good friends. He knows that if he joins the military and gets married, that's a dependent. Marisol might not have to work. He can go ahead and send that bread back. But Anthony, he just wanted some cheeks. He don't care. He don't care. He's only thinking about tomorrow. He's not thinking about 10 years from now, And I mean, I get it. He's 18. But you've been drafted to this Vietnam War, buddy. And your main man is hip. I know he's mentioned it. As a matter of fact, he did in the milk car. In the little milk junk. Yeah, I'm going to make her my girl, yo. Like, come on, man. I'm going to make her my wife, yo. Like, that's a fact, man. He was saying this. You just didn't care. Oh, not to mention, it's 1969. It's common for two 18-year-olds, two 19-year-olds to get married. So nobody's going to frown upon this. You got a good job, quote unquote, ahead of you. You're about to go to the war. So she's young. She's just eating up every little excuse he got up. She like, well, you gonna marry me when you get back, from the war? I don't know, you might have somebody else. I might get hurt. I don't know. Like but you just hit though, right? And you was so geeked to do that. It took you all but forever and a day to do that though, right? But as soon as you do it, oh, I don't know. But it's okay though, because these decisions will haunt you, Anthony. Oh, they'll haunt you. So now we at the war. We in Vietnam. My man Chris Tucker, he has a kite. He like, yeah, what's up with Juanita, man? Like, she been writing you? Yeah, she was writing me. Anthony, thinking he's smooth. Yeah, she was writing me during my first tour. We had a daughter. Yeah, I got her pregnant that one time, man. And Chris Tucker's happy to hear that. Anthony's an idiot. Like, you could have been getting paid more money. But, you was thinking with your pointer finger. You wasn't thinking with that thumb to thumb through them bands. You wasn't thinking with that. You was thinking with that pointer finger. But it's okay, though, because it's going to come back to haunt you, right? Because that's Anthony's side of the story, right? That's Anthony's side. Because, of course, he does his tour, right? And he comes back to the Bronx, and his mind is messed up, right? Like the rest of the veterans, right? So Anthony's back in the Bronx, right? And what's the first thing Anthony goes to do? And no, it's not what you think it is. He doesn't go see Juanita and his daughter that he's never seen before. No, he pulls up on his man Chris Tucker from the war. See, his man was Chris Tucker was discharged early due to Agent Orange and whatnot, right? So he has a kite, flicking his shoulders, seeing things, hallucinating, But guess what else he saw? Juanita. Before you did, because he's asking you, hey, have you seen Juanita yet? Have you seen your daughter yet? She looked just like you. Nah, man, I ain't seen her yet, man. Like, what's so funny, dude? What's so funny, dude? So I give him his credit because he does walk around and finds a job in record-breaking time. This is 73. Record-breaking time now. He goes to the local butcher. It's like, yeah, we'll hire you. After that, he goes looking for his baby mother. And y'all remember it. He pulls up at the house. The sister, she's grown now. Remember the younger sister, right? Always had a little crush on him and whatnot, but he was messing with the older sister. And we gonna get on that. We gonna get on all that too, but because the sister does give Anthony a kiss. But it's like a welcome home kiss. That's how I took it. If you took it differently, okay. But I'm just random rants. Nonetheless, right? So let's get back to the story. So Juanita pulled up with his daughter. And he hasn't saw Juanita in 4 years. Never saw his daughter. He's scared to hold the girl. He's still a little kid. He's still 18. Yeah, he went over there and did what he had to do in Vietnam, but still a little kid. And I'm telling you right now, we're about to get to Cutty. I apologize. I just have to explain these scenes because now you can see when a grown man steps in, Juanita gonna choose every time. But we almost there though. We almost there. So now, they in the car. Baby girl in the back seat. He telling Juanita, yeah, I'm back, I'm going to be a man, blah, 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 I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And boom, this is the first time we see him. Yep, Lattimore, a.k.a. Cutty. My man pull up smooth, clean, eating a cherry lollipop, pimp like. You know what it is. Yeah, you know what it is. Pulled up real smooth on him. Hey, baby girl. Oh, I see you got my baby girl in the back seat. Right in front of the father. Yeah, I stopped by the house. She off some, hey, Cutty. I stopped by the house to drop you off some. She wasn't there. Well, I got class on Saturdays. Oh, yeah, I forgot it's Saturday. Because I know your schedule. And I keep you in check. Yeah, I'm Cutty. Man, she was like, oh, well, let me introduce you to, man, Cutty sped off. But before he sped off, broke off with a hundred. Inflation say that's like $100 back then. That's probably like $700. That was like $700 now. Broke her off. Now that's what you seen. Now, we already said what happened Anthony's side. Now let's talk about what happened Juanita's side with Cutty. Because this is what you've been waiting for, right? Everybody know he goes off to war. She's struggling, pregnant, showing, right? She end up having a daughter. Struggling. Working, trying. Auntie can only babysit her for so long. Auntie got her own life. She trying to fight the power. Man. Cutty caught Juanita strolling around Harlem. Not even in the Bronx, around Harlem one day. Picked her up. Hey, sweet thing. Hey, baby girl. You could use a little help. What's going on? Spit that nice game to her. Man, Juanita ain't never, she ain't never, like I've been married before, baby girl. You remind me of Veronica, my first wife. My name Cutty. Look, I'm gonna give you my number. Slide you a little bit of money. You could use it, baby. And Juanita took it. But guess what else she had to take? Oh, you know. Oh, you know. Yep. Cutty sliding black licorice sticks. Just gonna leave it alone. We just gonna say that. We just gonna leave that alone, right? Yeah. Yeah. Simple as that. We ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Cutty had Juanita. Taking care of her. Taking care of the daughter. Paying the rent. Bringing food. Putting it on the table. See, Juanita is Cutty's side piece. See, Cutty got a few of them. They all remind him of Veronica. But Cutty don't mind he getting money. He only been doing this for a long time. So he knew who Anthony was. He knew who he was. He could tell. He could see it. He could see the brokenness on his face when he pulled up in that clean thing, eating that cherry lollipop. He already knew. He was like, I'm gonna break off with that 100, cause he can't do it. I can see it in his face. Man, I'm Cutty. I'm Lattimore Darby. These young dudes can't do nothing with me. So now you got both sides, right? I guess that leads us to the last thing we see Cutty in, right? Now, well, before we go there, let's lead us to the scene before that so it can make sense. So naturally, Anthony sees it and they get into an argument. And she was like, yeah, I used to see him. Told him. Like, yeah. You want to know why, though, Anthony? Because I was writing you. I was writing you and you were writing back. But see, after I told you that I I had your daughter, you stopped writing me. Huh. Bills got to get paid, buddy. Yep. Oh, I forgot. How could I leave this part out? I forgot. Anthony ended up getting Juanita pregnant again. Yes. And I know people want to say, oh, was it Cutty's? No. That man has just got back from the war. He did 4 years over there. That was equivalent like to prison, per se, right? He was, so yeah. Now he's about to have another kid. But he don't have another income coming in. And Juanita really ain't trying to hear it, and she throws it in his face. Was like, yeah, well, you need another job, buddy, because we about to have another mouth to feed. Now, that leads to the next scene and the last scene. I know y'all remember. You guys seen the movie before. Y'all remember Anthony walking in with them big bags of groceries? Cutty walking down the stairs. Hey, young blood. I just dropped by to see Juanita and your daughter. But how you doing today? Anthony talking about something. What you mean? My girl and my daughter. He like, now look, I'm Cutty. I deserve a little respect. By all means, I was taking care of your girl and your daughter when you was off at war. But I see you, though. I see you, and I commend you. Because you remind me of me. Back in 59 when I was married to Veronica. See, I had a wife. You out here bringing home them bags of groceries and you think it make you a man. And I see you got her pregnant too. Little dude, who you think taught her how to do that? She was not using her mouth like that. She wasn't doing none of that. You broke. He's telling some stay away from my effing family. He laughed it off. Cutty laughed it off. Hit him with the butt of that thing. That chrome thing. Y'all remember? He might have just socked him closed hand, but he dropped him down the stairs. We know that. He pulled that chrome thing out, up that thing on him. Like, you gonna learn some respect. Nigga, I'm Cutty. And I'd do it to you if it wasn't personal. I'd do it to you. Don't let your little pride and ego get you. Please don't let that get you erased out here. Don't ever bite the hand that feeds you, little dude. You broke. You broke, Slim. And y'all know what happened at the end of the movie? Man, Cutty stopped messing with Juanita after she dropped that second kid. She was washed to him. Go to Pelican Bay and see if you can get your man to send you some money. Go to Rikers. Because I don't got nothing for you, baby. I'm Cutty. And for the record, before we end this rant, see a lot of people, Anthony should have chose the sister. Like, let's make that make sense. Okay, for one, that sister was a little girl back in the day, and Anthony was messing with the older sister. She was a little girl. Okay? When I come back, I'm trying to make it right. Like, I had a daughter with your sister. You're my daughter's aunt. You know? And yeah, Anthony's scheme, of course, got her erased. So you know Juanita never spoke to Anthony again. Sorry, maybe the daughter had a relationship with him, but she never done. Like my sister's done. But yeah, man. Y'all got Cutty messed up, Slim. Anthony, Slim, I'm telling you, Slim, your pride and your ego, Slim. Random Rants over with, Slim. Like and subscribe.